Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our series. I'm Amy Schneider and I'm with Ken Coscia. We are both certified Silva Method instructors. I'm here in the Atlanta, Georgia, and Western North Carolina, Asheville. Ken is in New England, Connecticut, and Chicago, Illinois. Welcome, Ken. Welcome back to your Silva Method questions answered, everything you need and want to know about the Silva Method.
Episode 3.
Yes.
I-
Three.
yes, and we are committed to this. We want to clarify as best possible so you can make a more intelligent decision. Is the Silva Method coursework for me, and what's the best approach to serve you so you get the absolute most out of it with that. Amy, what's today's question that we were going to handle? Common, frequently asked question.
So today's question is, what is the difference between visualization and imagination, and how does it relate to intuition? Silva Life and Intuition, we really dive deep all 4 days in all three of these areas, and we work a lot with visualization, imagination, and intuition. That's the question.
I'm laughing, smiling because that question has come up since the very beginning of the Silva program, 1966, especially visualization. And we're going to work on being as brief as possible. Imagination is the act of conceiving of a possibility. Imagine the possibility that your best self can emerge and help you solve more problems. Well, if that's not true today, that's imagining something that you have yet to experience. Imagine the possibility of walking the beaches of Bali. If you've never been there, it's all a figment. Visualization is the memory of your imagination, and it's this back part of the brain, recognition and form, the visual centers responsible. So people sometimes say, but I can't see anything. If your eyelids are closed, you can't see because eyesight requires the eyes to be open. Visualization is not seeing, and that's part of that verbal trap that people get caught up in. Second aspect is that everybody has a different communication style. This is communications 101, both objectively in what we call beta, your five physical senses, and the subjective mode of consciousness. Some people listen to them talk will say, I see what you mean, Amy. That makes sense. And others might say, Ken, I hear you loud and clear. So some people are more visual in nature and listen how they speak and how they frame things. And someone might say, I hear loud and clear. They're more auditory. And then others say, oh, wow, you feel the vibes in this room, the energy? Oh, it feels nice, or whatever. And the visual will say, I don't see anything.
Yep.
Well, even subjectively, when you're working with your intuition or having an ESP experience, some people get visual images, eyes open or closed. That's called clairvoyance, clear vision. Some people have hearing, clairaudience, clear hearing, and they hear a voice
Yes.
as if they were hearing a voice. And some people get a feeling, clairsentience, or in their body or in their hand. There's a fourth, which I knew, but it slipped my mind. And it's really special to me because it's right. I realize I'm predominantly claircognizant.
Mm.
Amy, I think you know this about me. I'm a daily practitioner. My visualization has improved, but it's not nearly as vivid as people who come through my training with me. But I have a deep sense of knowing and kinesthetic feeling. When you recognize and trust who you are, it doesn't matter. And when you embrace who you are and what comes naturally, you can do great work. And that's when the magic happens. Because as long as people say, am I really an alpha, which is another question, or I can't visualize, or how can, then it becomes a stumbling block and it puts you in stress mode. And when you're in stress mode, nothing happens. You can't think, let alone intuition.
Personally, I feel like I'm all of those, but some are more dominant and others in different situations. But I definitely, whenever I have gotten information from my intuition, as important, actually, those life-saving moments. I heard a voice. It was like someone having a conversation with me. That's interesting. But really, when you start to develop those frames of reference, and I am definitely very kinesthetic in most everyday life, that's probably my predominant one. However, I like to say in class that you and I talking, we see each other, we see our body language, we're speaking English together, which we understand, and that is using our physical senses. And we have lots of experience in in our world, especially in our adult life, as we've gone through school, become adults, and gain more experience. We have a lot of experience in the physical world. We see pictures, videos, hear things, and that's how we develop frames of reference. We have less experience developing how things look, feel, sound mentally when our eyes are closed. If you have a child in your life, they're probably very imaginative and they come up with all sorts of things. And they are definitely experiencing things in that subjective sense. And so when we're in class, when we're visualizing, we are recalling an experience that we have already had. And if you think about what you had for breakfast this morning, it probably just it came to mind, right? So that is visualizing. And in class, what I love to say is that with imagination, that helps our intuition awaken more when we have those flashes of insight, when we have that knowing to go a different way. We're actually learning a completely different language. And it is a language that's completely unique to us. And we have to develop those frames of reference so that we have that understanding.
Excellent. And I would add a quick tip to improve visualization.
Yes.
Look at a bright color, blue, green, or red, and turn away and remember what you saw. Or go look at your car. If you like your car, the lines of the car, and turn away, remember what you saw. Doing that helps improve visualization. The other way is to cultivate imagination. We believe imagination and visualization are the two faculties of genius. And by genius, we mean a person who's able to use more of their mind in a special manner. We call them high performers, highly successful people. So, what's the value? There's a ton of research coming out, and one fairly new, recent university level study that some of you may be familiar with was involving people playing the piano. I don't remember all the details, but I think it was something like they played 2 hours a day for a week on the piano, just simple chords physically. And then another group of people were taught how to play simple chords, but they only did it mentally, as if they were at a computer. They mentally rehearsed it, visualized it. And then when they did brain scans before they did this and after, they found that the people, both groups, those who practice physically and those who practice in their head mentally, rehearsing it, had the same connection, synapses created that would be typically created when you learn a psychomotor skill. And there's a ton of research like that. The power, all sports athletes, well, top-notch athletes learn mental rehearsal techniques to practice physically and then to mentally rehearse as their best self has emerged in the game or in your business or in your relationship. So it really makes a big difference and helps, absolutely. However, what's most important is the feeling. And all the research in I wish Jose was alive, but all the research in neuroscience shows that you can visualize and manifest, or you could do a million affirmations, declarations, and it has little or no value or impact on us unless there's a feeling, an emotion that you connected from your heart. So, my friends, even if you're like me and you're not so highly developed visually, embrace it, but you can emote the feelings. And one way to enhance that, if you're practicing with mental rehearsal or creative visualization, is how will it benefit you and anyone you care about? And actually run like a movie in your head, a thought, or describe it to yourself, what it would be like. What will they be able to do? How, how will it improve the quality of their life, your life? It's the emotion that's the driving force. You can do it. We believe in you. And all during the Silva class, by the way, the techniques we use are all designed to help cultivate imagination and visualization. And when you do that, it activates your intuition. And when you activate it, then it's another whole topic about intuition, how we
It
provide
is.
feedback.
You talked about and explained where with the research where someone just mentally went through the chords and the other group physically went through the chords. One of the reasons why both groups experienced development is because the brain does not distinguish between vivid imagination and physical reality. And that's really something important. It's something we cover the first day of class, and I'm sure my students might seem like I'm a broken record, cancel, cancel, because it's important to understand and know when you're living your life, because the things that we're thinking about, we're giving energy to, and whether it is physically real or whether it is imagined. And if you are playing a sport, if you are in business and you've got an important meeting and you've had important meetings before, you could be doing anything. When you mentally rehearse something, it lights up the same areas of the brain as if you were actually physically doing them. And when we are working on a goal and creating something new, a new goal that we haven't reached before, that when we have experience with visualization and imagination, which, as you mentioned, and I mentioned at the beginning, that we do all 4 days, then we can have hope. Somehow we will figure things out and we will come up with a solution or have the steps to get to that end goal in mind.
To go back, a couple of points I want to add is the brain doesn't distinguish between vivid imagination, what we are at the subjective level, the green and red on the chart,
Yes.
consciously, subconscious. The subconscious guides us and runs the show, so to speak. Amy, there was an excellent reminder for everybody. Give it a whirl before you go to a business meeting, presentation, pitch someone, performance, before you sit down to have that delicate conversation with somebody you need to have such, mentally rehearse it as if it's happened already in a positive outcome. And imagine what you would like that situation if your best self emerged and you really connected, they got you, they heard you, they felt you. I'd love to hear from you what a difference you notice. It's just notice the difference. It goes smoother. There's great value in doing that for that reason. I'm tempted to do something because part of what Amy and I want to do is these are meant to be information episodes. We both offer training videos and we both offer a lot of content to help in your personal development. And this is informational and somewhat training. Here's a quick little exercise. What do you think, Amy? We got time to do this?
Let's do it.
You're not going to be able to do it, or you're watching the video. We're recording this, but you can stand. Better to do it stand. Turn your head, keep your shoulders straight. Turn your head, neck to your right as far as you can. Pay attention to how it feels, and you can turn your eyes to the far right too. Then
Perfect.
come back and imagine as if your neck is made of rubber, as if it's a rubber band. And if ever you've seen Roger Rabbit, SpongeBob, any of the cartoon characters, you can twist the head like a sponge. You can make a few circles. Imagine what if your head were like a bottle top onto your body and you could screw it on, screw it off. So exaggerate it. That's the rule of the visualization. Now close your eyes, keep still, and repeat what we just did, but in your imagination. What if your neck were made of rubber? Or your head was a bottle top and you could turn and see what's behind you. You could make a few turns. And play with that. Imagine, it's silly, ridiculous. The sillier you are, the more impact. Then open your eyes and do it again physically and look to see, can you turn farther and how does it feel? Third time, keep your shoulders straight, turn your head, neck, eyes to the far right. How does it feel? Are you able to turn farther? Even if the same, did it feel more comfortable, relaxed? I do this in my classes. Amy, you may too.
But too.
And everybody says at least a little bit farther, good majority, a lot farther, but everybody says, yeah, my neck, it was easier. My neck feels more relaxed. Hint, hint. It's called the mind-body unity. I heard a famous psychologist using this based on a book she wrote, instead of mind-body connection, mind-body unity. I love it. Your mind, your thoughts facilitate your feelings, and your feelings cause emotions, which cause the brain to release the neurochemicals, which affect how you feel, affect your physiology, affect heart rate, breathing, circulation, etc. It's very science-based. We'd love to hear from you. I'm happy to have been here, and I hope you're happy to have watched this. And that if you have questions, please, could you send us questions that have really been pressing to you, and we'll do our best to get to as many as we can.
Yes, absolutely. Please send us questions. You can comment on this video with a question. You can also go to either of our websites. I am silvamethodatlanta.com and Ken is silvamethodct.com. So Connecticut, silvamethodct.com. And our information is there for you to reach out if you have any questions about anything. And we will see you next week for our next question. So stay tuned for that one. And we are super excited that you joined us today. And we look forward to meeting you either in person or back here.
Until next time.
Bye.